K-Trend Monitoring Office. How can I help you? And back joining us in the studio for K-Trend Monitoring Office is David. David, what's up, man?
Hello, everybody. I was just taking a nap in the studio because I arrived early.
Yes.
And yeah, it's very cold in here.
It's especially the studio where you took a nap.
Yeah.
It's really cold.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have anything underneath this shirt, TMI,
Yes.
because it's summer and it's very hot. I mean, last week it was super hot.
But you know, wearing an undershirt actually cools you off more.
Really?
Yeah, because it's soaking up the sweat. I used to be like, I never wore anything under my shirt until I discovered the undershirt.
Yeah.
And it's so much cooler.
Really? I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm becoming an ajashi if I wear an undershirt, so that's why
The ajashis are all about the white undershirt.
Yeah, exactly.
You just don't have to wear the white one. You're just gonna wear a black. That's it, man.
You have a black one.
I have a black one because if I do white, then I might look too ajashi. You know?
Okay.
Hey.
Yeah.
We have to talk about this. Last week we talked about BTS and the Grammy boycott. I'm not going to call it a boycott, right? I mean, that's the terminology a lot of people, everybody's using.
Okay.
Or we could say them not submitting their music to the Grammys.
Yep.
It blew up. It blew up on our VOD.
Okay.
And
that's good, right?
It's a good thing.
A lot of views.
That's right. And there was a lot of calls for David to have his own show.
Oh, yes. Hooray, let's go.
But I think it was in the expense of my...
Oh, no.
My job.
I couldn't do that. No. No.
The army were like, David Oppa.
No.
역시 David Oppa.
Yeah. I'm all for a new show called The Army Show or something, but not in the expense of, culture.
No, but I want to thank a lot of our viewers, a lot of our listeners for, watching and getting involved with the discussions. I think the more discussions, the merrier.
Yeah.
Right? And so, although not all of our topics are going to blow up like that, I hope a lot of them do.
Yeah.
This one may or may not, but it's going to be sexy talk, or it may not be sexy talk because there's two ajashis talking about it. Hate to call you ajashi, by the way.
I am.
We did kind of talk about sort of summer in Korea and how young people are dressing sometimes.
Yep.
But we talk about what's allowed and what's not allowed in public because Korea is still generally a very conservative country.
Right.
And so we're going to talk about freedom versus etiquette. And this could be with what we dress in a certain way that we dress. It could be how we present ourselves with certain fashion tattoos or tattoos of some sort. But let's first talk about this topic that sparked quite a bit of controversy.
Yes.
At your hometown, I believe?
Yes.
Bikinis at the cafe.
Right.
This is talk number one. Bikinis at the cafe, vacation fashion or social offense.
So this is a real case that happened quite a while ago, and it's become a debate online. It happened in Busan's Haeundae Beach, splendid beach, by the way. I prefer Gwangalli, though. A tourist walked into a cafe. It was a she wearing a bikini covered with a beach towel. Like, she wasn't there entirely in a bikini, right?
Yeah.
So she had a towel on top to order takeaway coffee, and she got stopped by the staff, who politely offered to bring the drinks outside for her because of her outfit. So they were trying to say in a subtle way, like, oh, you can't be like that in here, like there are other customers as well too. You need to dress up a little bit. Some people might be uncomfortable, and basically we'll take you the coffee outside. So
I want to ask this, like, what would be uncomfortable because it's too revealing? Maybe it was too revealing. I didn't get to see a picture.
Yeah, so I didn't get to see a picture as well, but like if you just assume she's wearing a bikini, right?
Yeah.
And she had a towel on top, but I think a towel wouldn't be sufficient enough to cover her whole body or anything. Right. I mean, if I were the owner, I'd be like,
coffee's on me.
Yeah, you don't have to have a towel here, Like, why are you having a towel? It's hot, So if it was me, if it was my call, I'd be like, come inside.
But you also have to take into consideration the customers that were there. That's what it
exactly.
was.
So like Haeundae is a very, hot beach, and and there's a lot of people from families to tourists to, just people, residents that are walking around, and they all gather to these beachside cafes for studying or just gatherings or just chilling. And if someone's walking in with a bikini, some people might get uncomfortable.
So this is where the debate lands is, and I want you guys to give us your 2 cents on this. Now, if it was like some person wearing a bikini, now if it was a guy, that 100%, what are you doing, right? Guy wearing a bikini. I don't know if you saw. Did you see
the mankini?
No. Did you see the what is it? The post that came up on the internet?
Oh yeah.
The guy was wearing like a woman's swimsuit.
Yeah, at Han River.
Yeah, Han River.
Yeah.
And they're like, "What do you do in this case?
Right.
Do you tell them to cover yourself?"
I don't think so. It's a free country. As long as he's not like flashing his imported parts. Like,
Pinim saw it too, right? Yeah, the pink one.
It's a pink.
It was like an elderly gentleman.
Yeah.
Wearing a pink. It wasn't a bikini. It was a pink swimsuit.
Yeah.
And yes, the police did. But even with that, why was that a problem?
I guess, like, technically, if you think about it, it isn't a problem because, like, a man's swimsuit is usually just like a trunk or a triangular shaped,
But what difference is it with a triangular when it covers more than a triangular one?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
I don't like the triangular swimsuit.
Me neither.
Can people stop wearing the triangular swimsuit? That makes me very uncomfortable.
Yeah, so I think, honestly, there was a little bit of, like Korea has a little bit of traditional views yet, and people were just uncomfortable with him wearing like women's swimsuits.
No, it was a little bit weird, and especially with the Han River, there's a lot of kids around.
Yeah, exactly.
However, the reason why this becomes a controversy with Busan is because Haeundae is, and especially because Busan right now, they're getting record number of tourists.
Yes.
Right? Both Korean tourists, but also like foreign tourists are coming. Record numbers are coming in, and so to get Busan's Haeundae to be recognized as a huge seaside vacation summer beachside area, I mean, maybe these cafes that are by the Haeundae beach, you're going to have people wearing bikinis.
Yeah, I agree. It's right by the beach, so if I feel hot and I want an ice Americano, I'm just gonna run into a cafe in my swimsuit.
Yes.
Obviously, I'll put a towel on, but as long as I'm not dripping water or I've like cleaned the sand on my shoes and stuff, I think that's perfectly fine. That's my personal opinion. But like as we said, the owner had his own policies, and like there were other residents or nearby, guests, customers that were in the restaurant, the cafe that were uncomfortable about it. So
and I think that's what it is. I think sometimes we talk about the older generation. When we had this discussion, older generation are not used to seeing too much skin.
Yeah,
and it's not that it's wrong to wear. It's not wrong to wear a bikini. It's just that they're not used to seeing so much of that, so it becomes uncomfortable for them.
Yeah.
And when a customer feels, maybe more than one customer feels uncomfortable, you may have to cater to that. And which still shows that Korea, I mean, it's generally still a very conservative country.
It is.
Right?
I mean, we're in a country where people complain about wearing leggings. So, yeah, think about a bikini. Imagine a bikini at a cafe. That would cause an uproar.
Julie over in Poland says, if men are allowed to go shirtless in certain places, women should be allowed to wear bikinis. The same rules should apply for everyone. But the thing is, it's like if a guy, let's say, came into the cafe with no shirt on and just trunks, would he have been stopped too? There is a chance.
Yeah, I think he would have gotten stopped.
I don't think this is a gender thing.
Yeah.
It really is not a gender thing, I think. It just happens to be that it was a female customer wearing bikini. Same could be said, Julia. Then what if, then what about the gentleman, the older gentleman who was wearing a pink women's swimsuit? Why did he get taken away?
Yeah.
Your same rules should apply for everyone.
Yeah.
Near beaches, people dine in their swimsuits. That's a lot of places. But what about other countries, though?
I don't know. Like, from my knowledge, when I was in Australia and other places in LA, I've seen a lot of people in their swimsuits in like these, what do you call them? The porches of the restaurants. Yeah. There are open spaces, and a lot of people are just like, shirtless, eating their steak or fries.
Crash Override says in LA, bikinis are very normal near the beach, but in like restaurants too. Especially, I think they don't go in. They stay out in the porches, right? But the thing again is, I heard that even in places like Thailand.
Thailand, okay.
If it's like by beach area, they'll go, okay, that's fine, because you know they have so many tourists and stuff like that. But if you go a little bit into the local neighborhood, they look down upon tourists who just come in with bikinis too. So it's a little bit more flexible in these like beachside, oceanside, touristy areas, but less so in kind of local neighborhoods.
Yeah, maybe it's like an Asian thing too.
Yeah, I think it could be.
Yeah.
It really can be. So, I mean, hard to take side with this one. You have to, you understand every side,
Yeah.
right? So, I mean...
In this case, I think at the end of the day, I think it's the business owners, his restaurant, his cafe, his rules kind of situation. It's not against the law or anything, right?
Yeah.
And even if there is a complaint, if the owner says like, "Oh, I'm fine with it," you know, if I were the owner, I'd be fine with it.
Right.
Not because I'm like happy, but like.
But then what if your customer says, I'm very uncomfortable, I have, you know, children here, or like an older, I guess, customer says, I'm comfortable seeing this person in bikini, like what would you say?
I just say, you know, it's okay. Like this cafe is mine, and every person has the right to, you know, drink here.
Yeah, I think so. Halsey says Brazil's very tolerant with that stuff, but still there are places with a sign on the entrance prohibiting shirtless entry.
Yeah, there
so
should
even
be,
in Brazil. So I think then you made the very good point. It's really up to the business.
Yeah.
To whether or not they're going to decide that or not. And by seeing that, then customers can pick and choose which restaurants or cafes they'll go.
Yeah.
Right?
I think that's a clear guideline. Yeah.
There you go. There you go. So again, you know, Korea, we are becoming more open, but there is still the conservative side of things, and which is why it's very tricky. We have to, you know, cater to all sides and make sure we understand everybody out there. All right, we're going to take a short song break before we talk about other issues that's been popping up recently. This is Twice with Dance the Night Away. David, you want to hear something scary? So remember, like, you two and a lot of our guests, we usually have like interesting discussions during off air.
Yeah.
Right. And then what's one thing you always say?
One thing I always say?
Yeah. I hope nobody can read.
Oh, yeah.
Read lips?
We read our lips, yeah.
We have a listener who can.
Really?
Annika.
Really?
Annika was like, I was dancing and singing along to 태양을 피하는 방법, How to Avoid the Sun, and she was like, you're getting all the lyrics wrong. And I was like, how'd you know?
What?
She could read lips.
See, I told you we got to be careful.
But we're so far away, you can't really see. You see, this is the preview.
Yeah.
You can't see our lips.
Right.
So we good.
Yeah, during the intermissions, we're safe. But if we were to be silent, like talking with each other right now, and like
this view,
this
now.
view, probably some people could make out something out of it.
We'd be in trouble.
Uh-oh.
Let's talk about another interesting one. One of the first, I think it was the first topic that we talked about on this particular segment, K-Trend Monitoring Office, was tattoos.
Yeah.
When tattoo was legalized. And the way that the society views tattoos very different from how we used to see it back then. But still, though,
Yeah.
there are going to be some restrictions because second headline, in a public pool in Seoul, a 50-year-old swimmer with large arm tattoo was asked by front desk staff to wear a rash guard or cover his tattoos with bandages because of complaints from other members. We are, despite the fact that tattoos are getting illegal, more and more people are getting tattoos.
Right.
Still, there is this rise of no tattoo zones. Let's talk about this.
Yeah, so on top of that case, from public pools to five-star hotels like the Conrad or Fairmont and Seoul, strict rules are popping up, and some hotels are explicitly banning tattoos that are larger than 15 centimeters, or they mandate hydrogel patches and rash guards on top to cover up the tattoos. And then 15 centimeters or longer or bigger is like more than a sleeve, or like, you know, like you have a huge dragon on your back, something like that.
Yeah.
So we're talking about big tattoos here. We're not talking about like these little letterings.
No.
So yeah, these rules are actually being implemented, and it's becoming a debate as well. People are like, oh, it's just a tattoo. What's the reasoning behind it? Well, there's I think Korea the majority is pro restriction. Most people advocate restricting tattoos being in public baths or pools because a lot of families with children, they feel intimidated by these large visible tattoos. And historically, you got to understand in the context of Asian culture, they're tied to organized crime like gangsters or Yakuza. And supporters argue that public facilities have a duty to maintain a welcoming and threat-free environment for everyone. And I'm not gonna lie, for myself too, I'm all for tattoos. But when I go to public baths and there's like two guys that are, you know the shower, and then there are two guys that are standing next to me, and they have like dragons and tigers, I feel intimidated in between. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. That's just the thing. It's like people choose if you are. Even that gets a little bit tricky because now. There's no rule. Like an organized crime boss is not going to hunt you down and be like, why do you have a tiger tattoo? Or why do you have a dragon tattoo? What are you part of? You're free to have all that. In fact, there are more and more young people. They said that like psychologically, people who are a bit timid and they like to get these scary tattoos just to push off people. Like, don't mess with me. Because, again, that whole long-standing idea that these dragon, sleeves, right? Tigers and all of this stuff, 도깨비, gremlins and all that stuff, it's linked to organized crime. And like you said, like when I remember going to the gym and taking a shower and late at night, and then I have there's three of these guys with tattoos. I go, I might skip the shower.
Exactly.
I might skip the shower.
It's most intimidating when you're actually in the main pool and then you're just sitting there and like, oh, this is so good. But then like these three big people come in and they all have the dragon tattoos and the tigers, and they all sit with you and they start staring at you. And I'm like, okay, I think I'm done with my bath. And
the thing is that they're not necessarily doing anything to intimidate you. They're not going like, hey, you come here, rub my back, or do stuff. But it's just their presence that makes you uncomfortable.
Yeah, I think it's the media that's made the stereotype, and it's like kind of engraved it into our minds, made it more fearful, and then that stigma and that stereotype kind of got exaggerated, or even it's just very deeply rooted. Whenever I see anything about a tattoo online, like the immediate comments are like, oh, yeah, no wonder he did that crime, or no wonder he did that. Like, there's a sleeve, like there's a tattoo.
Yeah, but there's also, if you look at some of the recent killers, they actually don't have any tattoos. So what does that say?
I don't know. But yeah, like the most upvoted comment is usually, 문신은 과학이다. It's like, oh, tattoos are science. And that says like, oh, usually the people that have foul behavior have tattoos. Like, it's science.
You know who you really have to be careful about? You have to be careful around older guys who have these like really poorly done tattoos. That's the OG gangsters.
Oh yeah.
Those are back in the days when there was no technology, right? That the what is it, the needles and stuff like that. They just do it their own way.
Yeah.
And they draw weird stuff like turtles and roses and stuff like those are the scary people.
Right.
But you understand this, right? Like, you understand.
I mean, it's 2026 and tattoos are now mainstream fashion. People have free right to self-express. It's now become legal. And mandating someone to cover up like their body part just because like, society sees it as hostile or something, it just doesn't logically make sense. Technically, there's no harm coming from it. It's just our minds. And
and I also, sorry to cut you off, I also think that like the later the more we kind of go into the later generations, that fear or that stigma is going to be gone. Because, for instance, when I was young, and my parents always told me, be careful about those people with the tattoos. Yeah, they're gangsters or they're bad people. Whereas now, my son and later on, my daughter's too young to realize. Like my son knows I have tattoos. Like he's not going to think I'm a bad person. He's gonna live in a society where tattoos are more accepted. Yeah, and so when we go to like water parks, and we're washing ourselves and there's like a bath and we see like people who are tatted up like crazy, he doesn't get scared. So in the same way, I think later on it's going to be more accepted. But now still there is the generation that feels uncomfortable with this.
Yeah, so I mean, I watched this YouTube channel called 장사이신. He's this guy like that goes around restaurants and does consultation. And whenever he sees an owner that has a sleeve or a tattoo, he's always like covered up with the actual sleeve, you know, like a black sleeve or something. And then you see the comments, and usually because he's the consultation situation, the owner is really not experienced with the business or something, and the comments are always like, oh, no wonder, you know, like, yeah, he has a tattoo, of course he does. And then people actually write reviews on these food apps saying like, oh, the owner had a tattoo, I had a very unpleasant experience dining there. So yeah.
Made It Up says, I have tattoos and I'm not a gangster. But again, it depends on the culture. Like Japan is even more strict.
Oh yeah.
Japan, it's like you have a tattoo that looks a certain way, you're automatically linked to the Yakuza. Now, you might not. You might just be a young Japanese, you know, person that likes tattoos.
Yeah.
You're not linked to any organized crimes, but the police will actually come up to you and ask questions in Japan if you have certain tattoos.
Right.
And so I think it's again, it's part of the culture. Polina says, so what happens when people who have tattoos on their faces and necks?
Oh, that would be seen as, I think...
But it depends, though.
Yeah, it depends on what kind of tattoo, honestly. Like, if you have a Hello Kitty on your face, like, nobody's gonna actually think you as a threat. But, like, if you have, like, these weird, you know, goth style, you know, biker style, dragons or whatever that's all over your face, or, like, a sleeve with that.
But, like, also, like, there's a lot of artists, you know, singers.
Yeah. Post Malone.
Yeah, and they're like not gangs. They're the nicest people ever. Like, the same can be said about Sam Saw. You know, he's got tattoos in his neck, you know, and he tries to cover it as much as possible. But nicest guy ever.
Yeah.
I mean, initially, I think if you see a guy that's wearing all black and got tattoo all over the place, we'll go, he might be scary. Nicest guy ever.
Yeah.
Nicest guy ever. So I think it also depends on the occupation.
Yeah.
If you're gonna have like a face tattoo, if you're gonna have like tattoos in certain, you better hope you could still get a job.
Yeah. So normally in Korea, people who have face tattoos, neck tattoos are either rappers or like tattooists themselves, or some fashion people, someone around that line. Yeah.
Yeah, and or you're not really going to get jobs. I have very quickly here, just to tell you how still we have this stigma with tattoos, even though it's changing. I have someone who's working at a different floor here.
Okay.
And this temperature that we have, he's got long sleeves all the time.
Oh.
He's wearing a long sleeve all the time. And I was like, why are you wearing long sleeves all the time? And at first he said, because I'm from Florida, I like this temperature. This is not hot.
Yeah.
But later on, as I got to know him more, it turns out he has sleeves.
Yeah.
And he just said, I got this when I was in the U.S., but here in Korea, we still have the stigma.
Right.
And in the office, I don't want to be coming off as like, because it's a sleeve.
Yeah,
you know?
I understand. Yeah.
So that's that, guys. Halsey says, great idea, David. I might consider a Hello Kitty tattoo. You can join that gang, whatever. Don't join. I don't want to join in that gang. We'll continue to talk about other issues here. But first, this is Chew featuring Hayes with Rule. Back in the studio talking about this recent debates that we had from bikinis at a beachside cafe to not allowing people of certain tattoos be present in like public bathhouses or swimming pools and things like that. We got some messages from our listeners. Made It Up says, I work in a no-show tattoo environment. Anyone who has forearm tattoos has to wear a long sleeve t-shirt. And again, it's up to the business.
Yeah.
I think certain companies or certain businesses, like, you have to be more formal. And just the idea that, again, tattoos are considered informal.
Yep.
Like, when they say cover it up, you cover it up.
Right. I think we even have like a rule book in the media industry, like for broadcasting.
Yeah.
So if you watch shows like Show Me the Money or any auditions shows, the producers or the staff will always give you like these tapes.
That's why, like, those guys, like, with tapes on the... But then the funny thing is like, it still kind of shows.
Yeah.
You know what it is, but you still have to cover it up.
Right. So they'll either have sleeves or blur it or tapes. And I don't know if they still do it. Maybe. but I don't think I've recently seen any of those blurs on TV.
The toughest thing for me was years ago, like over 10 years ago, I was working part-time in a speech academy
Yeah.
for kids
Okay.
in Mokdong. And you know Mokdong, that's like one of the
Studious areas.
areas. And so I have a tattoo here. And during the summer, like if I were, like right now this is long so it covers up, but you still never know. If I go like this, it might show up. I had to go to work every day with a like tape over it. And kids would ask like, what happened to your arm? And I go, I got hurt. They go, how come your arm is always hurt?
That's a good question.
I'm like, I don't know. I get scratched up there all the time. You know, it's just a thing.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do? What, you don't get hurt? Not gaslight that. What, you don't get hurt? Why you gotta be so mean? And so I have to cover it up. You know, what am I gonna do? Pegerin had to put makeup on her arms for a TV thing I saw a while back. Nowadays, yeah, they have like, you know, makeup and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about gender double standards and global rules.
Yeah.
To really truly understand this issue, again, we have to look at the deeper layers, right? The gender expectations, international, excuse me, international precedents. So let's start off with a very sensitive topic, gender double standards.
Yeah. I think one of our viewers already, you know, brought this topic up. But like, why does a bikini in a cafe trigger massive, you know, outrage? While sometimes shirtless guys at a beachside, them visiting convenience stores or just going around doesn't create an uproar. Like if we leave aside the whole cafe situation, like women just in bikinis, just walking by the sidewalk in the beachside, that's very rare too. Like they would either cover it up or like wear a t-shirt on top. But like you'll often see guys that are just shirtless, that are just walking by with their sandals, and people will be like, you know, it's a beach, so okay. But then for women, the judgment would be harsher. And in Han River, though, like I think it depends on location. Recently, there was a huge backlash against like these guys that were running without any shirts on in Han River. So I think like to certain places, different rules. But if we confine it to a beach, why is there a double standard there? Yeah.
It's we have this kind of sort of like embedded in culture that male chest, and guys, we're all adults here, and we're gonna go as 18.5 as possible here without having to go 19.
Yeah.
Guys, bare chest, it's not considered sexual, right?
Yeah.
Whereas women, it's considered that. And so when it is revealing, then again, people are going to say, you know, it makes them feel uncomfortable, because the idea, even saying the word sex, right? Even say, I remember growing up as a kid, like in a Korean family, I couldn't say words like sexy or sex.
Yeah.
Because it's such it's like a taboo word.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so when you grow up in that, the idea that a guy's bare chest is not considered sexual, but a women wearing a bikini, it's just embedded in the culture.
Yeah, I think that hit the nail. It's all about sexualization, in my opinion, too. Like if there's a girl in a bikini, all eyes are going to, you know, go on to her, especially the men too. Like, so that would create a very uncomfortable environment for the person herself, and also for other people. Like it's the same with the leggings debate. Like biologically, men are wired to like look at something that looks, you know, sexual or something. Intentionally, you can block it, but like for a split second, your eyes are going to head that way, right? And then a lot of people complain about leggings, like wearing leggings in public in city centers, because they get caught seeing it, or in the gyms, like they get caught seeing it, and they get filmed on camera, like, you know, having a sneak peek, and then they get like painted as pervs, or you know.
But I mean, like that's the other problem is it's like it's there.
Yeah.
Like, what do you do?
Yeah. So at the core of it, it's the sexualization issue, and I think it's unfair for women to be having to have like, you know, stronger standards upon them.
Yeah.
But society is just like that, and yeah, it's an unfair situation.
Yeah, and again, like you know, when in Rome, right? I think different countries, you know, we if we talk about this in like we mentioned Los Angeles. Miami, Rio de Janeiro, probably. I don't know, but I think it'll be more accepted. Whereas again, Korea, although it's evolving, still not yet. So do you respect the culture
Yeah.
and maybe be a little bit cautious? Right? I think that's the best way. Like the whole idea when in Rome.
Yeah. I mean, if we take it to the extreme, not even the extreme considering the population, if we move away from Korea, go a little bit more towards the east, I guess the east, or the west, is it? Anyways, to the Middle East, I heard there are some countries that you can't even like enter public places without a shawl on top or like covering your whole body. Like no skin should be showing especially for women.
Yeah.
So yeah, different customs, different cultures, different environments, different rules. So whether you respect that or not, whether it's unfair or not, I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's a tricky issue. So
Yeah.
I think what we can get out of this is that yes, Korea is definitely evolving, and if I compare it to Korea from 20 years ago, 30 years ago, and now very different, but still like there are remnants of this still very conservative
Yeah.
ideology that's embedded in our society. So just be a little bit more careful, right? Guys, I want to thank everyone for getting involved with the discussions and get involved with the talks. David, thanks very much for this
you.
interesting topic. Have a wonderful rest of your week. We'll see you next Monday.
Okay, bye-bye.